face and start kicking ass, just like it said at the beginning of the program.
Man of the hour, tower of power, too sweet to be sour.
Sending your ass on the jabroni jet to the other side of the territory, brother.
The Alabama Hammer.
Nightmares on the best part of my day.
The goods from the woods.
Hot damn!
Welcome to the Goods from the Woods. My name is Rivers Langley, and I continue to be on the road. Today, I find myself in Magic City, heart of Dixie, Dirty South, USA, in Birmingham, Alabama, with a friend of the show, been far too long,
Nick Thomas.
Yeah, man.
What was I going to tell you, actually? Fuck. There was, when you were saying those people like calling you the telemarketers and you fuck with them and
yeah,
it's the dude you sexually sexually harass them a little bit.
Yeah.
I did that the other day and was on the phone for a while.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I got really fucking rude. Like it was the Social Security. Have you got that yet?
Oh yeah.
That scam.
I get all that shit.
Well, I was just like on there for 30 minutes and like they'll talk shit back to you because they're just trying to fuck you out of your money.
Yeah.
Because they get really offended. And I was like, is your dick out?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, pull your fucking dick out.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
What are you waiting on?
Yeah. And it was just like,
how big's your dick?
Yeah, it just
how big a boy are you?
It got to where I was just uncomfortable and was just like, I don't even want to do this anymore. Do
you made yourself uncomfortable?
I was like, you want me to give you my social? And he was like, yes, you can do that. I'm like, no. Just straight up first question I ask you, are you going to get my social from me? This person I've never fucking talked to. Dude, another thing we talked about last time too was Saliva. We didn't go into it, like we got sidetracked, but Saliva has a Eminem cover.
What?
Yeah, the song Lose Yourself. They did a cover of it.
Oh my god. Wait, is Saliva... Okay, I always get them confused. Are we rolling, by the way?
Yeah, we're rolling.
Oh, good.
That's not professional at all.
I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah, we just go straight into it, baby. First search, Saliva Lose Yourself. You want to hear this?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Saliva Artist Channel. That's the name of their YouTube. Let's see how this sounds.
Which one is Saliva again?
Click, click, boom.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That's a big one. I've actually never listened to this still. Like, I've had it sitting on ice.
Okay.
They're doing their own thing with it.
It's got slightly corn vibes to it. Okay, so it's just a...
Very bland.
Well, let's wait till the chorus because that's going to be the interesting part. Yeah.
Yeah, they got the corn fieldy sounding bass.
Yeah, the spaghetti bass is what we call that. Yeah.
It's like it's like he greases the strings up with like his fucking
underwater bass, spaghetti bass.
Oh.
Okay. I wonder if Luke knows about this. I want to text Luke Jensen, comedian Luke Jensen, and see if he has heard of this.
Yeah, just immediately like, yes, all caps.
He's currently, it's currently leg day for him.
He's in the gym.
He's in the gym listening to this. Yeah.
About how I thought it would sound.
Wait, hang on. Let's wait for the... Yeah, so he just made it buddier.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's about how I thought it would be.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been wanting to ask. I nearly like DM'd Luke and was like, "So what's your gym routine?"
Oh yeah,
I'm trying to get swole, man.
Well, Luke would be the guy to talk to.
Dude, I've gone a week so far, almost every day.
Oh, go into the gym?
Yeah, dude, I kind of like it, but there's these. It's kind of got me in this wormhole where I like follow these bodybuilder dudes now on YouTube, and they're all assholes.
Oh, what?
They go to like Planet Fitness and fuck with people that are just trying to get in shape. And it's like, what if this happens to me? I'm not trying to be on some fucking gym fail video. So yeah. So before I went, like, you know, I was watching so I don't injure myself or look like a fucking moron.
Yeah.
And they're just, it's like, oh, this just makes me not want to go now.
Yeah.
I'm afraid I'm going to run into these people.
I go to the 24-hour fitness in Hollywood. And that's, if you don't live in LA, that sounds like I'm trying to brag, but it's a homeless shelter.
Oh yeah,
basically.
yeah. We've had Brent Schmidt talk about that on here.
Hollywood's not, it has a certain connotation that a lot of people hear. Like it's like, oh, you going to Hollywood, but the truth is, if you actually make it big in the proverbial Hollywood, the first thing you get to do is move out of literal Hollywood.
Yeah, you don't want to live
like
there.
Actual Hollywood is like fucked up and sketchy. And I go to that gym there, but 24 Hour Fitness, they have locations all over LA. The only one that's actually 24 hours is the Hollywood location, though. I think when they started in the 90s, I guess, they probably all were 24 hours. Then they realized that is an insane business model.
That's what I want, though. I want to go there.
Well, that's why I chose that gym specifically, is because the Hollywood one's 24 hours. It's near my house, and I don't, my feelings on working out are very similar to my feelings on spicy food. I like it, but I don't want to. I'd like to do it privately. For the same reason, because I get very sweaty. If I'm eating like hot chicken wings, I get very sweaty. If I'm running on the treadmill, I get very sweaty, and I like to have as few people around as possible to witness how sweaty I get.
You don't need an audience for that shit.
Yeah, and so, but I started going to the Hollywood one, and the Hollywood one's great because it's everybody's very weird and insecure, and nobody wants anybody looking at their bodies, and they're just like, right.
Even if they look beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, they're just
everyone's
fucked
in the head. Yeah. But then one day I wasn't in Hollywood, and I was trying to get like a workout in, and I was in Santa Monica. And Santa Monica is where all the bodybuilders are. It's like they call that the Mecca of bodybuilding. Santa Monica, Venice.
They got the Muscle Beach.
Oh my God, it was so intense there. All I do when I go to the gym is like I'll do the run on the treadmill and like maybe do the free weights sometimes.
That's me.
Maybe do the elliptical, like just do cardio basically.
It keeps you not feeling like shit. Really, what I want.
Yeah, exactly. And
my blood feels like syrup. Is why I don't want it to not feel like that.
Yeah. Well, and I'll swim too sometimes. That's always fun because they've got a pool at the Hollywood one.
Oh man,
and
I wish we had that.
Yeah, man. But it's you go to the Santa Monica one, and like people are just like actively dicks there. Yeah. And I was like, I miss my Hollywood gym where everybody's insecure and nobody wants to talk to anybody.
Yeah, I don't like this.
In Santa Monica, they'll be like, get the fuck out of the way. Like they'll just like I was drying off my face, and there literally a guy was just like, the fuck out the way. It just like moved and like went to the weight machine. I was like, I
would kill to see that. I was like, you're just sitting there drying your face. I was like, fucking move.
Well, like, yeah, but it's also like, what am I gonna do? Like, this man is shaped like an upside down triangle. I'm not gonna be able to fight him.
This will make me fucking lick my own ass.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it'll give me a fucking swirly. I'm like, oh yes sir, I'll move. But I was like, I much prefer Hollywood where no one talks to you, no one says a word. I just get on my little treadmill and watch King of the Hill.
Yeah, it's great. Like the treadmill, like I could do. That's kind of what keeps me there. Is like it's easy. It keeps you, like not feeling like shit.
Yeah, and it's a good way to keep up with the 8.5 hours of pro wrestling that comes out every week.
Yeah, you can just watch that.
You can watch wrestling. Yeah,
you can do that and just kind of fucking do your thing. Yeah. They have a thing because I go to Planet Fitness and their whole business model is like, no, come here, be comfortable. Everybody here's a fat piece of shit. Like,
yeah.
And they have a thing called a lunk alarm. That's like, it's a big fucking alarm, and it's like if an asshole goes there and starts going like while lifting weights, that goes off, and it sounds like a tornado siren.
Oh, so it's like the sign in the guitar shop at Wayne's World, no stairway.
Exactly, it's exactly.
This is not where you come to flex this.
That's exactly what it is, and that's where the wormhole. Like when I was watching the YouTube videos, these dickheads like that are just unnecessarily fucking huge. It's like no reason other than to look like a fucking create a player on like fucking Skyrim or something. And they're like trying to set the lunk alarm off is the thing. And you just have these old people just trying to stay alive.
Who's in charge of this alarm?
I don't fucking know.
How do they know that someone is flexing too hard?
I guess the front desk will just see a dude just being like max. He was trying to max the machines out too. This guy is so big that he's like maxing the machines out effortlessly.
It's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it was very entertaining.
He seems cool.
Yeah, the guy, one of the guys doing it, who is I forgot his name. He's a big bodybuilder dude. He seems like a cool dude. I actually follow his channel. I forgot his fucking name. He needs to be in movies.
I have not gone down this rabbit hole yet of following bodybuilders yet.
Yeah, man, there's a dude. I know a lot of them now. There's a guy, I forgot his name, Rich Penna or something.
Okay.
But he just looks like he's trying to look as ridiculous as he can. It's like he has to be. He has like the fucking colored contacts.
Okay.
Like 10 to like.
Oh, he's like Hard Rock Nick.
Yeah, just skin cancer. Like just walking around. It looks awful.
You've seen Hard Rock Nick, right? Oh, buddy, you're gonna want to pull up Hard Rock Nick.
Hard Rock Nick.
I'll try to find it. Apparently, he's fairly kind of a problematic character, but his emergence on the scene was sort of
He's obscure. Then I could not just Google Hard Rock Nick.
Yeah, he was definitely taken notice by our mutual friend Butt Rock Brett. Was not too happy about Hard Rock Nick.
Was he on Tosh.0?
Recently?
I searched Hard Rock Nick, and it's a Tosh.0 March 19th.
Oh, that must be him. Yeah, it's got to be. I haven't seen the Tosh.0 segment. I
have seen Hard Rock Nick.
He's just the guy with the
I know who Hard Rock
with
Nick
the
is.
ridiculous facial hair that
He is amazing.
Looks drawn on. Yeah.
Oh, he's just trying to get women to fuck him constantly on Instagram.
Yeah, but also looks.
Yeah, he's great.
He looks like kind of like Xerxes from the 300, but with drawn on.
He does
facial hair.
That's who he looks like. That and like he's got some DJ Khaled vibes going on.
Yeah, for sure.
Which I'm glad I brought that up. Somebody put a video like compilation of DJ Khaled, just like how he talks to women.
Oh, I'm sure it's great.
It's weird. It's not like disrespectful or anything, but it's very condescending,
right? Patronizing.
Yeah. It's like he's talking to a child, kinda.
Yeah, sure.
But it doesn't go too far. It's just like, you're an idiot.
Yeah
Like he's just like, you're so smart, you can do anything, and it's clearly just the biggest idiot ever.
Yeah.
Like he's just,
well, I mean, I guess if he did it, he's not wrong.
Yeah, he's not wrong. He got lost on a fucking jet ski.
That's my favorite video of all time. Yeah. Well, it's my favorite video until recently. I had to do a round of trivia. And I didn't have to, but I signed up to do a guest round because I'm kind of on a long tour about sort of situation.
We kicked ass at trivia. Ventura Harbor, man.
Oh yeah. I was in Auburn for a couple of days, and a buddy of mine runs the trivia game there. He's like, "Oh, do you want to come do a guest round?" And so he's like, "It could be anything you want." So I was trying to think of like a cohesive, because I hate when it's like, "All right, this is just going to be miscellaneous," like, we're just like, "Oh, you couldn't think of anything." So the one I came up with was the round was called LA, and it's questions about Los Angeles, Louisiana, and Lower Alabama.
I like that.
Yeah, so like something easy where it was just basically like kind of history questions where the answers were like Huey Long and like what was the Hollywood sign, what's the Hollywood sign originally made out of, and shit like that. But when I got to the Lower Alabama part, I was like having trouble coming up with anything. I was like, God, what the fuck has ever happened in Mobile?
Yeah.
And the only thing I could remember was like, oh, the greatest video ever was filmed in Mobile, which is the Leprechaun. Yeah. So I asked like, what neighborhood in Mobile was that from? It's Crichton. Everybody's writing Pritchard. I'm like, oh man, it's Crichton. The Crichton neighborhood of Mobile. But
everybody knows that.
But yeah, it'd been a while since I rewatched that video, and it really is.
It's still funny.
It's still flawless.
Yeah, it's very timeless. So
every piece of it is crucial. It's timed so perfectly where there's like slow points where there's the man who has the flute where he's like this is a flute. My grandfather was Irish. It's from 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
And then so there's like even like a little lull point like you would have in a joke where like, oh, this is the quiet part of the joke, and then he tells you the flute is 1,000 years old, and it's obviously a muffler that somebody's just stabbed holes in the top of it, and you're like,
it looks like shit.
You're like, buddy, this is outstanding. And then just everyone in the it must have been a crackhead, got a hold of the wrong stuff. Like everything in its right place.
That's one of those videos. It's a perfect example of just people like need to leave shit alone. Like, when people like upload shit like that on their own channel to get clicks.
Right.
It's like, but they leave, like you said, the whole video is essential. Every piece of it. So you got, I don't mind a remix, that's funny.
Remix
I get
is
a
fine.
chuckle out of that. But, leave every piece in. It tells a story that we all need to hear.
That's like one of the earliest, because I remember the first video I watched on YouTube actually was Stephen Colbert at the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Oh yeah, that's
because my friend Matt messaged me on I guess it was it must have been right when Facebook Messenger came out, or when maybe it was AIM even, but messaged me and was like, have you seen this, and sent a link, youtube.com/whatever. I was like, oh, what the fuck is this? And I clicked it, and then the rest of my week was just like looking at YouTube for the first time.
I remember finding that. It was just like, oh, this is a fucking thing. This is great.
But that was the first thing I saw, and then that Leprechaun video honestly must have been less than a year later. I think if I'm not mistaken, it was St. Patrick's Day 2007, so it would have been like really like less than a year into YouTube being a thing, and it's still fucking perfect.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
Man, didn't Norm Macdonald do a White House Correspondents' Dinner once?
He did one in I want to say 96 or 97 maybe. It was during Clinton.
People forget he was kind of on a roll there when he got fired from SNL.
Oh yeah.
He was a hot fucking.
He could have done anything at that moment, man.
He has this new kind of viral fame. Like there's like not really underground, but like there's like diehard Norm fans.
Oh yeah,
now.
yeah, absolutely.
But it's for good reason. That podcast he had that's now the show is one of the best things ever put on. Like,
where it's just him being weird to famous people.
Yeah,
it's outstanding.
So good, and like he tells terrible jokes the whole time and gets them to read them.
But he takes so long to do it.
It's great, and just how he's a dick to what's his goddamn name? The Comedy Store booker guy now. What's his fucking name? The co-host. I can't think of it. Adam Egget.
Oh, okay.
But like I was thinking Hard Rock Nick was gonna be like just some LA open micer guy. If there's anything I miss about LA, it's the just bad open micers.
Oh boy, yeah.
I was talking to my friend the other day, and I doubled over laughing at this horrible fucking joke this guy told at the Chinese theater when we went.
Oh yeah.
The one where Mark Curry hosted the show.
Yeah,
before.
yeah. Mr. Cooper hung out. We hung with Mr. Cooper.
We hung
for
with
a night.
Mr. Cooper
and
in
he
the
stayed,
Chinese theater.
He stayed just to heckle people.
Yeah, he was such a dick.
He was such an asshole.
For good reason, it was so bad.
But I mean, it was for good reason. But also, it was like 11:30 at night. I'm like, don't you have a home?
Yeah, what do you do now?
Don't you have shit going on? Why are you at an open mic being mean to fucking delusional teenagers?
Yeah, and like the show he hosted before was not good.
No,
it was a bad show.
Yeah.
But this dude, it was Peter Prinz. What was?
Oh yeah, Peter Prinz. Yeah,
the best. He had the best fucking joke I've ever heard. He was just like, "Hey, here's one. You remember all dogs go to heaven? How about all LA parking enforcement go to hell?" End of joke. And I was fucking crying. Joe Raines at that point had like checked out, and he was like, why are we doing this? He hated it so much.
Peter made me sad that I was nice to him one time.
He'll do that.
He made me mad. He made me regret being showing human decency.
He will do that.
We were at the Liquid Zoo. It was a past guest of the Goods from the Woods, Ron Swallow.
Oh, I love
hosting.
Ron.
I love Ron. Total
One
mensch.
of the best fucking dudes.
You kind of have to do a lot for Ron to just be like, fuck you, bro.
He's the nicest dude ever.
He's really nice. It was Ron, it was the bartender, it was me, and it was Peter Prinz. And those are the only four people at the Liquid Zoo. And Ron and I was going up last. And so Ron brings up, actually, no, I think Peter was going on last. I'd just gone up. As soon as I go up, Ron was like, all right, and here's our last comic, Peter Prinz. And him and the bartender and like I guess there was one other person, but anyway, everyone left and I had the option to go. And if I'd have walked outside,
would have missed this.
It would have been Peter by himself.
Yeah.
No one else in the bar.
You would have missed a Peter Prinz set though too.
Right. Well, I wanted to go outside and talk to Ron because I like talking to Ron.
And I don't want to watch Peter Prinz.
Right. But I was like, well, I'm gonna stay and show some compassion here and be his one audience member.
It's a weird spot to be
a weird spot to be in, but I was like, all right, I'll take the hit here. And and I sat there and he literally like got on the stool. He's like, let me tell you something about comedy, Langley.
Oh no! So it's just literally,
and then he made me sorry I stayed because then he just started like talking to me about like he's like, yeah, people will fucking tell you they're your friend to your face and blah, blah. I'm just like, just do your jokes, man.
Yeah, man, this is such a we wasted your whole night. Why are you here.
We could have had this conversation outside.
You could have talked to me about this outside. You waited.
Now you're holding me hostage because you have a microphone and I'm too nice to leave.
And he waited till like he was dead last at a mic that's typically the list is pretty big for.
Yeah, well, the list is big because they let you do let you do like 8 minutes, you know.
And this is how he spends like.
It's like just do your jokes, man. I you know. So yeah. That guy, there was a whole, because I think we talked about open micers a little bit last time, but there is with Los Angeles specifically, there's a whole tier of micers that their parents are literally millionaires.
Yeah.
Where they're like there was a lady I don't think she there's no way she's still in the scene. But when I first moved there, she was an avocado heiress.
What?
Like
that's some shit
her
you find
family
there.
owns, like, if you've eaten an avocado in America, it was her family's avocados, pretty much.
God
like
bless them.
You know, an avocado impresario of California.
That is so weird.
And you'll love this. Actually, this is, I don't know if I've ever told you this joke before, but if anybody's gonna appreciate this, it'll be Reverend Nicodemus Thomas.
If it's bad, I will.
Oh my God, it's so good. So she would get up there, and she was usually like half in the bag when she would go up, and she was probably in her like late 30s, early 40s, and she would just go, she was like, if what I'm trying to remember exactly how she phrased it. She would go, she's like, somebody once asked me if I had a time machine, if I would go back and kill baby Hitler. I would not. If I had a time machine, I would go back and put my mother in 9/11.
What? Can I steal that? That's a great joke. That's a good joke.
Not like just like using 9/11 as like a weird abstract noun like that. I would put my mother in 9/11.
That's
not in the Twin Towers, not in the Pentagon, not Flight 93.
I want her in
just
it.
Generally,
Put her in 9/11.
She could be a firefighter. She could be one of the people jumping off the building. She could be in the plane. I don't care. As long as my avocado shilling mother could be in 9/11, that is what I would do with the power of time travel.
That's the only thing I would fucking do.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she was.
I'm just gonna throw that out there at the next.
I'll have to
mic.
tell you off mic what her name was, because I do love avocados and I want to keep eating them.
Yeah, they're gonna like make sure that doesn't happen.
You know, I don't want to say anything, but yeah.
They're probably very powerful and like
In California, you don't fuck with avocado people in California.
You don't want them.
You don't want that kind of heat. You know, those pits are poisonous, man.
Yeah, they're gonna find a
They'll
way
like
to
find you and shove pits down your fucking throat.
Man, I really like, if there's anything, that's the thing I miss the most out there is just like, believe it or not, just like sitting through. It sucked, but like I miss just seeing the fucking psychopaths out there.
Oh man, yeah.
It was just everywhere.
Oh, they're good. They're real good out there.
And people will find anywhere to do a fucking show or a mic at, like, you know, in some like ways that's good.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
you know, it works out. Like y'all did Yellowhammer.
Yeah, in a backyard.
In a backyard with a fucking I never said a parakeet, a fucking
peacock. Yeah.
And it turned out to be this great thing. And then some people do it in a fucking like RV and shit. Who was the person behind like Food for Less?
Yeah, it's still going. It's a garage behind Food for Less, and then there's another one called Mobile Mike that's in a truck in the parking lot of Ralph's.
I don't know if it was like Andrew Polk or somebody was telling me about that, and like they were talking about like they were gonna go or something, or like did go. I don't know.
I think I posted about it on Twitter, and then I think Polk either retweeted or replied to me about how he wanted to go to the mic.
Oh man, I wish he would come back through here. He's fucking great.
He's great. I just was in New Orleans, his homeland. It was fucking dope.
He's seriously like, it's a shame like. The thing with the basketball player happened to him because like his Twitter is so goddamn funny. He had to like disappear briefly because
yeah. He wished death upon Draymond Green, and Draymond Green responded to him. I think Draymond's mom came after him. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I've been wanting to get him on here to talk about that.
Oh boy, I don't know. I don't know if he's. I think he's just trying to move on from that.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think he's interested in that. But yeah, man, him and the dude that produces Tim Dillon's thing, Ben Avery.
Oh yeah, sure.
Are both fucking hilarious on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
That Tim Dillon, those videos he does where it's like kind of set up like InfoWars, are just some of the best fucking things on the internet right now. That he needs to be more popular than he is already.
Yeah.
But
No, I was you just said Andrew Polk, who's a comic originally from New Orleans. I was in New Orleans just recently, and we were walking through the French Quarter at like 2 a.m, and we walked past a Starbucks, and one of the water jets, I guess, where you pour water out of a sink or something, had just burst, and there was just a stream of water, like a very big stream of water, shooting across the lobby of the Starbucks just onto the floor. Jesus. And the Starbucks was closed. There was nobody in it. It was 2 a.m.
There's no way to save it.
Yeah, and so we just walked by. We just stood there and watched it for a while. We're like, this is fucked, because they're not opening until 6 or whatever.
That's gonna be a fun thing to walk into.
It's like another 4 hours of just
everybody quit their fucking job that day.
Everything's gonna be flooded.
Everybody that walked in that day to open was just like, I'm fucking.
It was a disaster.
Do not make enough for this shit.
Yeah.
Could you imagine working at that Starbucks anyway? Like,
the Starbucks. Yeah, it's like at the end of it's right at the intersection of like where Bourbon Street meets Canal Street. So
this is like a fucking nightmare.
The only thing that'd be worse. Well, we passed by the Crystal. I was like, the Bourbon Street Crystal, 24 hours a day.
Oh,
that might be the worst job in the world.
I don't even have to go into that bathroom to know it's the nastiest fucking bathroom.
Yeah.
Just because of what that food does to
Well, yeah, because it's crystal, first of all.
It immediately shoots through you.
Right, I like crystal.
I do too, but it's very do I want to put my body through this?
But then you have to compound that with the fact that it's Bourbon Street, and most people have been drinking sugar and alcohol. And then you add cheeseburgers to that, and then it's going to be a bad time.
I remember we talked about this last time you were here, actually. Like, I had just eaten Crystal like the day before.
Oh, that's right. And
it just fucking destroys you. I don't know that after that time I don't think I can do it again.
Yeah. Have you you're working at a barbecue place now, right?
Yeah.
How's that been going?
Dude, I love it. You tried it today.
I did. Yeah. So our mutual friend, comedian Wes Van Horn, hooked me up with an inordinate amount of food. Yeah, I mean, it's good. God bless him. I'm going to be on the road for a while, so it'll be fun to have. I think I have actually brought a cooler, so I can theoretically be munching on ribs and stuff all throughout the day tomorrow and everything like that. But oh man, it was really, really good.
No, I love working there. It's like you work for like a James Beard winner.
Right.
It's just really interesting to watch how he does shit. You get to work with your friend Wes.
Yeah.
It's just kind of just make my own schedule. I mean, without just showing up there whenever the fuck I want to, but they're like, what days in hours do you want to work? So go in the morning. I'm never working nights.
Yeah.
So I'm free to do comedy all night or whatever the fuck I want to do. It's perfect. I like it. It's great.
I kind of talked about this with Justin Perlman, Justin Williams.
He's in Atlanta now, isn't he?
Yeah, and you know what? We forgot to mention the reason he changed his name, which was that there's
the other comic.
There's another comic named Justin Williams, and
he kept getting his emails for comedy festivals he submitted.
Oh yeah, he got accepted into a festival, and they're like, "Oh shit, we meant Black Justin Williams."
Yeah, and it's like, "Oh fuck, man!" I remember him being super bummed about that.
So when he moved to Atlanta, he decided, "Hey, go to Time Is Any." So he changed his name to Justin Perlman. So if you go back and listen to that episode, that's why Justin Williams is now going by Justin Perlman. But anyway, we kind of got talking about this. What's the worst job you've ever had?
Oh man, that's a tough one, but.
Because when we did the episode of Truckin', I believe is the name of the episode, you talked about working in a warehouse.
Oh, I loved that
being
job.
around truckers, but I remember you said you liked that job.
Oh, the worst probably. Here's one that I just went to the first day and was like, oh, this is a scam. I completely got bamboozled.
Was it L.A.?
No, it wasn't L.A. I had moved past getting fucking tricked into that shit by then. This is one of my first after high school jobs, and it was selling vacuum cleaners. And I
swear to God, everyone I know at least either
Kirby vacuum
either fell into that or they had a friend who got into that somehow.
Luckily, I never got past them talking about it. I went, they told me to dress nice, and we all were sitting in a fucking room. I was wearing a fucking suit.
Oh my God.
The dude, I knew when he was talking about winning a Wii. He was like, if you sell a certain amount of vacuums, only will we pay you, since it's 100% commission based, that fucking...
Yeah.
Forget it. And I'm not selling any of these fucking hunks of shit.
Yeah.
And then he was like... And you'll get to go on a cruise and win a Wii. And by the way, I played a Wii and it was fun as shit. And I was like, this is not professional.
Yeah.
This is a fucking scam. I'm not doing this. But that sucked. I've hated every job I've ever had, honestly.
Yeah.
I hate working.
Yeah, that's fair.
I worked in pest control briefly. That kind of sucked. I liked the freedom of me being by myself and, having a route, but it's like hard fucking work.
Yeah.
But I had to train a white supremacist that came out as a white supremacist to me halfway through the training. I'm glad you brought this up.
He's like, well, our main business, of course, is extermination. Now, I got some other ideas about extermination. The poison here is not unlike what needs to happen in society.
He really liked my tattoo, if you know what I mean. Which everybody knows what that is by now.
Yeah.
But
it's an astronaut riding a shark.
Oh no, the one where it's the possum.
It's a possum
he liked that
hanging from a tree.
Yeah, he was a big fan of that one.
But not in the fun possum way.
No, not at all. Not in the way I wanted. But he was talking and he was just like,
you should make one of those motivational posters that's like, hang in there, buddy.
Yeah.
And then just have your arm.
Yeah.
Oh, buddy.
That's not a bad idea. This is a good idea for some merch.
Yeah, merch, dude. Make a koozie that has your arm tattoo and then hang in there, buddy.
Yeah, man. I'm starting to get to the period where that's going to need to be a thing.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, this dude, we're like just talking, and we're in a predominantly black neighborhood at the time. And that's when it really started.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
And I mean, he was talking about, like, it came out that he was a white supremacist, like, I didn't even have an inkling of it.
Right.
Like, I mean, I just wasn't thinking it really. You know, it's just like, it's some fucking guy.
It's like, people wear Nazi uniforms from time to time.
He rode a Harley to work. I just thought it was just some fucking redneck dude that had a shaved head and swastika tattoos on his face. You know, I didn't even know. No, he
had a big iron cross tattooed on his skull.
He had his arms covered up because he is covered in that shit.
Oh, good. Okay.
Proudly, too.
Okay.
And they were like, no, you can't. We'll hire you, but you can't fucking have that. But he was like, I think it'd be a great idea just to, we just need to get rid of all of them, man. I'm like, what?
Oh, God.
The rest of this day is going to be really bad.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have fun doing it. Because, I mean, I can't just be like, yeah, man, for sure.
Right.
So I was just like, how do I fucking change the subject?
Yeah.
I think I changed the subject you got a lot of tattoos. I got a really awesome one. Like this, I love this tattoo. Don't beat my ass.
She's like, so football's weird.
Yeah. Then he would, I'm sure, find a way.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like, well, I mean, now it's one thing, but
they're all rapists.
Back in the 1950s when it was all white, now that was football.
When it was boring as shit and terrible to watch. He's like, they're all rapists. I think he said that at one point. So I was like,
oh, Jesus.
Yeah, man. All right. That was fun.
I had a friend. Yeah, I had several people fall into the vacuum cleaner scam. My buddy Chris, he fell into the vacuum cleaner scam, and then he also got into the phone book delivery scam. As well. And which I did as well. I also delivered phone books at one point.
Than the
well,
vacuum.
I've talked about this on the show before. It's easy if you get. If you've done it a couple of times and you're like in their system, you get to go up early and get your close routes, because the way to make money at that job is if you could deliver in Birmingham, say, and you could hit an apartment complex, just like boom, 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 like hit several, and get rid of like 100 phone books every time you stop at an address, hitting apartment complexes. That's how you make money, because then you can go back and get another load because you get paid by the load.
Okay.
And not by I think they reimburse you for your gas, but they only pay you for how many phone books you deliver at a time.
Oh, shit.
It's fucking stupid.
Yeah, you do have to figure out a system at that point.
So I got last dibs. So they had me delivering out in the county. And of course, out in the county in rural Alabama, there's a mile between every driveway, and every driveway is a mile long.
And they're not going to buy 100 phone books at each one either.
No, they just want ones. So it takes forever. So when I did it, I was like, they were like, oh, do you want a big load or a small load? I was like, I guess let's start with a small load. A small load is 500 and a big load is 1,000. And my buddy Chris was like, he lived in Birmingham. I was supposed to be delivering in Birmingham. Did the same thing. They're like, big load or small load? And he's like, let's go with the big load. They unloaded downloaded 1,000 phone books at his house, and he just didn't do it. He just didn't take any of them. And so when I came, I remember exactly what date this was. You can go look it up on Wikipedia. Whatever date it was, the first, I guess it's the only vice presidential debate between Dick Cheney and John Edwards in 2004.
I remember watching that, actually.
So it would have been like October, November 2004. And
Cheney owned his ass.
Yeah, and I went to Birmingham and watched that and sat in a throne made of phone books that were undelivered. He
the only way you watch Cheney debate.
He built a throne of phone books, and it was just in his living room.
Oh my god,
it was outstanding.
That's awesome.
Yeah, a big huge pile of trash in the living room. Chris was a very disorganized guy, but then he went in the Air Force, and now he's you go to his house and you're like, wow, this is not even the same guy.
Where's the phone
there's not a
book
bunch
throne?
of where's your phone book throne, dude?
Because that's actually really cool. I would put that here.
You went soft, bro. Where's your phone book throne?
What's this family shit?
Yeah, what's all this like happiness stuff?
This is lame. No, did you see the movie Vice?
Yeah, I did.
Did
with
you
Christian
like
Bale. It was alright. I don't know.
I feel like, I don't know. I thought about it on the other podcast, but I feel like Adam McKay's like, it's like, dude, just do dumb shit with Will Ferrell. Like, I like The Big Short, but like, I don't like this like Oliver Stone like almost like style of filmmaking. He's doing, where he's like, we know what's going on. You don't have to explain.
Yeah, he's bad. No, I don't know. I think I'm just getting stupider. Because I now just have the lowest possible threshold for entertainment where I'm like, did it make me laugh 3 times? Then I'm like, all right, well, then that's good. And I think a part of that is because I've got that AMC Stub Club thing.
Yeah.
So I don't really immediately feel the pain of paying for a movie that sucks. I'm just like, oh, well, that one sucked. Slide it on. Who cares?
That was what was great about Movie Pass is you kind of could just go see a shitty movie. Or and it's also, your bar set kind of high almost because, like, there's not a lot of, like, blockbuster comedies anymore.
No,
there really isn't. Like, and when there are, they're
accidents.
Yeah, they're accident. Like, it's like a cult classic. You're like below the like Game Night was really good, but nobody really talks about that.
Yeah, I never saw that one.
It's good. It's worth checking out. It's really funny. Blockers was good, but like
Blockers was that was a sort of a blockbuster.
Yeah, that was
technically. I believe that's the. Did that? I think it either replaced or came close to Hangover for biggest grossing rated R comedy.
That was one where it was like, okay, that's like the one, and it's like it was good.
Yeah,
I liked it.
But that was like last year. You got to think like there's usually one a year.
Yeah, and there's but it's just like fuck, man. With all the talent there is too that they're just not using. I like John Cena, don't get me wrong, but like think about so many other like comedians that are really talented you could be using for
like Dave Bautista.
Yeah, exactly. Who is? I didn't even finish WrestleMania.
I loved it. I fucking loved it. I think Batista's final promo on Triple H is the most meta, beautiful thing that's happened in wrestling in years.
I thought.
Well, the match was just alright. I'm talking about the promo where he came out on Raw before WrestleMania, the go home show for Mania. Batista stood in the ring. He had his blue sunglasses and his fucking nose ring, and he just stared into the camera. And then he pointed to the WrestleMania sign. And then he pointed to the Titantron, and they played the package leading up for it. And then it cuts back to him, and he just goes, "Kiss my ass, Hunter," and leaves. And I was like,
"That's amazing,"
because it's literally like it's the most it's minimalism, right? It's you take the idea of a wrestling promo down to its very very essence, and it's like it's a promo. He's promoting. He points at the WrestleMania sign, and then he points at the screen for the package that every segment has to have now. So they're gonna play that, and then it cuts back to him, and he just goes, "Kiss my ass, Hunter," and that's it. And I was like, this is like it's like the Beatles' White Album cover. It's just like, oh man,
it's just it's enough.
It's all you need.
Like,
and the little detail, by the way, of him when he came back having a blue nose ring. I've been obsessed with that because I'm like, I don't have any piercings. I don't know anything about nose rings, but I'm like, he had to at least go out of his way a little bit to find a blue one. Just as like a little nod to the Bautista thing. It's fucking genius, man.
He really. He's, I don't want to say slept on because he's like a blockbuster like movies.
Yeah, for sure.
But like as far as wrestling goes, I mean, like he has one of my favorite like entrances ever. It's just
yeah.
over the fucking top. Bring goddamn Pyro back to wrestling, please.
I don't know. Yeah, Batista's one of those people. Like I will be the first to tell you, I did not appreciate him while we had him.
Oh yeah.
But now in hindsight,
miss it.
it really happened because, honestly, because of the movie career, because that's going so well for him. I've since gone back and revisited, and a lot of Batista's heyday was exactly in the 4 years I wasn't watching wrestling, from like basically the time I got into ninth grade until I went to college. I just wasn't watching, and that was really his heyday.
Yeah.
And when I came back, there was just this dude, and the one thing that really tickled me during the time was when he left WWE the first time after he had some feud with Rey Mysterio, and he was in the ring in a wheelchair in the ring. And it just comes back from commercial, and it doesn't explain how he got the wheelchair in the ring. He's just sitting in it, and he has like a bunch of broken limbs, and he's just shaking a crutch, and he's just like, I'm out of here. I'm leaving. I don't care. I hate all of you. And it's just him just railing against the crowd in a wheelchair, and I'm like, this guy rules.
Yeah, he rules, and it's like, by all accounts, picks way better movies than The Rock.
Yeah, that's true.
As far as like quality,
right?
He was in fucking Blade Runner 2049.
Oh yeah,
it's a great movie.
Yeah, he's good in that. He's in the James Bond. He's in the.
It's a hard rewatch, but
he's in the. He's what, Marvel, James Bond.
Yeah, and like the Marvel movies I want to see,
and Blade Runner.
Like there was something else too. He worked with a couple of auteurs where it's like, that's weird. Like
yeah.
Like he's smart. Like he picks good shit.
Yeah, man.
And I don't know. It's crazy. We live in a fucking weird nightmare. Like
oh yeah. No, this is truly a fallen world.
But yeah. Blade Runner 2049 is not a fun rewatch. That's like one time you watch it, it's like, I appreciate that. It's beautiful. I'm set.
Yeah,
I don't sit through a 3-hour fucking movie ever again.
I sat through Endgame last night, baby.
Did you like it? I haven't seen it.
It's good. It's one of those things where the things they set up, it's like every goddamn Marvel movie where the whole movie is like, it's fun to watch at the time, but really you're just watching them move the chess pieces in different directions to make more stuff.
Yeah, it's just very much
like the big criticism of Marvel is that they're not really making movies, they're making TV shows. You know? And they're just like basically each episode of each movie is an episode of the TV show that's meant to like kind of hook you in and like move.
It's them trying to figure out how to make more money, and it's just like,
but I don't mind. I
don't either. It's not something I'm crazy about like some people, but I mean, I saw Infinity War and I enjoyed that.
So I've never, I was always like the comic books I bought were Batman, and I didn't read them in any kind of order. I literally just like would pick ones that had cool covers and read them.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I wasn't super into it. I think you would be hard pressed to find somebody that kind of like talks about, like, with the exception of like people like Mike Lawrence and people like that, you'd be hard pressed to find somebody that's like really like, it's like, did you really read fucking comics that much as a kid? You know what I mean? There would just flat out wasn't that many people reading comics.
Well,
like
all
that.
of them are now comedians. Because,
exactly.
Because I get into it a lot where I'm like, I liked Cap Marvel. And people are like, what? And I'm like, I mean,
it's like, I don't know, man. I just
like I said, I'm real dumb, and my threshold is like, did this movie make me laugh 3 or 4 times?
You're dumb. It's just like you saw something that you're not familiar with.
I was like, it's fun.
Yeah, it's like you just don't fucking have time for that.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about that. I'll watch it, but like I'm not invested in that story that much.
Yeah,
you know?
But no, I will say, and this is, I'll say this without spoiling anything because they've already announced Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So let me just suffice it to say that what they set up at the end for Guardians of the Galaxy 3 seems like it's going to be fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and honestly, you were saying there's like a lack of comedies, like blockbuster comedies. The Marvel movies are fucking comedies for the most part.
You gotta take what you can get to with those.
Well, I mean, some of them are like outright comedies, action comedies in the,
Guardians for sure is.
Guardians is straight up a comedy. Those
are my favorite ones.
The Ant-Man movies are comedies. Like
Deadpool essentially
Deadpool's definitely a comedy. I mean, that's the thing. That whole genre has transferred completely over to action. So we've gone like, it's what 48 Hours set up 30 years ago. Where it's
exactly.
Like, let's get the action comedy, put it together.
Kevin Hart and The Rock to like movies like that.
Hilarious. Why not?
I do think. What was I fucking just about to say? I have fucking Alzheimer's or something. But yeah,
Guardians, funny movies, Batista, Deadpool.
I
yeah.
like the first Deadpool, but did you see the second?
I liked it too, but also again, I'm very easily entertained. I loved Venom. I'm very easily entertained.
Venom's entertaining, but it's stupid as shit.
Jeff May was so mad at me.
He'll really get him.
I love Jeff May to death. He's one of my favorite
Jeff May's
people.
the real deal when it comes to that.
Fuck yeah, he is.
He's one of those. It's like, okay, you did read.
Yeah, no, he knows his shit, but we were just at an open mic, and he was, and I was just like, oh no, and I'm just like being dumb. I'm just like, I fucking love Deadpool. Like Tom Hardy was hilarious. It was,
yeah.
And obviously him, and there were some other, very diehard comic book people there that were like, oh, it's, or not Deadpool, Venom. We're mad that, it was, Venom wasn't.
I hope he never hears that.
Venom wasn't up to snuff or whatever, and I was just like, I'm not familiar with it, so I liked it.
Oh, I've had.
I'm the target audience here. Unfortunately, they know that they've got your money. It's very similar to wrestling. It's like the reason everybody's like, why don't they listen to the fans? It's like, because you guys are going to watch this no matter what and be mad about it. They're not looking for you. They're looking for everybody else who doesn't give a shit to try to, pull them in.
Exactly.
So I'm the exact audience for Venom. I'm 18 to 35-year-old man who doesn't really know anything about the comic books and just kind of like wants to be sort of entertained.
Yeah.
And if it's stupid, then that's even better, because I like that other meta level of like, why is he doing this with his voice?
Well, I'm very cynical about like shit like that too. Like Deadpool 2 was just the fucking most cookie cutter Spencer's Gifts jokes too. And I was just like, fuck this. Like, I hate this.
You know
so
what?
much.
I actually felt like that with the first one. I liked the second one more.
Really?
Yeah, personally.
Now, I've only seen it once, but I loved the first one. TJ Miller is just... I'm fucking kidding. That guy sucks. Why is that guy still popping up? Sponsored ads for him keep popping up on my feed. I'm like, I don't want this. I never wanted
this. This is all the stuff he filmed in 2017 before he got canceled or whatever.
Exactly.
It's still popping up.
Oh, man. He cut a promo for the Stardome.
For the what?
The Stardome, and he was like wasted in it. Oh, they book him there, of course.
Oh, good. All right.
Yeah, they're great. Their bookings are really great. They do not care. But he was fucking hammered in it. Clearly, he's like red in the face, sweaty.
TJ?
Yeah, you mean the guy that drives around Hollywood with a fucking jug of vodka?
You mean the guy who called a bomb threat on the train?
Yeah. Just fucking, that guy does not, I don't believe it for a fucking second. But yeah, he's just like, go see me at the Stardome. And it's like, you're going to be Pauly Shore in 5 years.
Have I told you about having to follow him? Do you know about this? I don't know if I've ever told
No, you haven't.
I don't know if I've ever told this story on the podcast, but at this point, he's pretty well buried, so I don't care.
Yeah, who gives a fuck about that?
It's so.
This is the podcast you end your career at anyway.
Yeah, sure. Well, I'm putting it all on my feed too, so
good deal.
We'll do both. So there's a very good show in LA called Power Violence. This is before TJ was canceled.
Yeah, of course.
And he was on the bill. And I was on the bill. Like it was the first time I'd done Power Violence, and I was like very excited because that is a hot show. And in 2000,
yeah, it's great. If you live in LA, fucking go.
In 2015, when this was going, I mean, it was like a really.
Did they still
hot
do
show.
that?
Yeah, they still do it, but it's no longer a weekly. It's a monthly at the Satellite,
Okay.
and it's the venue is a lot bigger. But at the time, it was running as a weekly show, and it would always be packed out. And it was always super fun. And I got booked on it. I was like, fuck yes, I'm going to be able to get a tape because this room is always hot. So I'll be able to film my set and be able to send that out to festivals, things like that. And then I found out, TJ's on the bill. And, if you don't know, if you're listening to this in LA, a lot of times the bigger headliners don't want to be advertised on the bill because they're just there to work out new stuff. And so if they do badly, they don't want a bunch of people to be disappointed that they went to go see this headliner, and then that headliner was just working on new stuff and wasn't that funny.
That and with like cell phones now too, don't want to be.
Yeah, it wasn't even that so much. It's literally just that. I think
doesn't want to fucking
It's just like like Adam Sandler, for instance, does shows all over LA, but you will never see him on a bill. You just have to be lucky enough to be there. Chappelle does the same thing. A lot of bigger comics do this because in LA you can do a lot of sets in one night. Yeah. So, but in this case, TJ was on the bill. He he was like, put me on the bill,
Yeah.
And so the bill was like TJ Miller, blah, 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 Rivers Langley, blah, 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 right? But that means that if you put your name on the bill, like there's going to be a huge crowd there to see him, right? So best not fuck this up, at least in my head. And of course, TJ Miller's a headliner. He can do whatever he wants. Clearly he does do whatever he wants, allegedly. And his dad covers it up, allegedly. Cool. But Anyway, he shows up to the thing, and he has done all of the drugs in LA. Like, he is fucking sky high, just shit faced. And I don't know what it was. He was definitely kind of drunk, but I think he was doing the pills and the drinking because part of his mouth was dead.
Yeah.
And he was doing and when he gets there, he's like, can I go up first? And they're like, yeah, sure, you're famous, go for it.
I gotta beat this fucking whatever I'm on.
Right. And so like, and I was supposed to go on like first because I'm a nobody, right? And they were like, oh, TJ's gonna go on first and then you. I was like, okay. And
awesome.
I was like, well, at the time I was like, oh, cool, man. All right. And I didn't, I guess, really have an appreciation for how shit-faced he was. And he goes up and literally his entire 10 minutes was this. He was just like, you think you're a good person? You're not.
Oh my God.
He's just talking to the front row. He's like, how many homeless people did you trip over to get here? You didn't give them any money. I didn't give him any money. I'm not a good person.
That's a good TJ Miller.
You're not a good person. For 10 minutes,
Jesus.
No jokes, just berated the crowd for not giving money to a homeless person that he saw.
And then he didn't either.
And he didn't either. And it was just him like telling people he was not a good person. And then the crowd was dead.
The signs were there.
And then the host of the show goes back up and is like, all right, TJ Miller, everybody.
Who was it that was it like Whitmer?
Yeah, it was Whit or Bud, one of them, one of those sweet boys that do power violence.
I just pictured a reaction to that.
Well, and Whit like did some jokes and like tried to get him back, but then it was like, all right, here's bearded fat man you don't know, and then I'm just out there, and it took me 8 minutes of my 10-minute set to get the crowd back into
that's a tough spot.
The idea of comedy, because the person they came to see, because he was on the goddamn bill.
Yeah.
The person they came to see
their fucking night. Ruined their fucking
ruined
night.
their evening,
Yeah.
And then so I got 2 minutes of. I finally got him back at the very end, and so I had 2 minutes worth of shit that I could use on a 10-minute tape. So
that's great.
Didn't get to use my
It's
tape.
like, thanks, man. I've been trying to get on this fucking show.
So,
forever.
Full disclosure, when he went down, I was like, a little part of me was like, thank you.
It's like, good. You just ruined what would have been
Thank you,
great.
thank you, universe. That, allegedly.
But yeah, that show's great. That was one of the first shows it was the first show I went to in LA. I met with you there, and I was like Kyle Kinane. It was a good fucking bill.
Man. Power violence is always fun.
It was like a stacked bill. It was like Kyle Kinane, Nick Thune.
It always is. They still to this day book that show extremely strong. And but yeah, that was
they're doing it at the Satellite now. Right?
Yeah,
I never went there, but like the shit I see that gets booked there, it's like
it's a cool venue, and they do a lot of comedy stuff over there nowadays.
I know Tim Heidecker does a lot of stuff there.
Yeah.
Did you see Us, by the way?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Did you like it?
I loved it.
I thought it was good too.
I really loved it.
Not as much as Get Out, but I mean,
I didn't think it was scary at all.
Oh no.
But I did enjoy it.
I enjoyed Tim Heidecker a lot. I didn't know he was be as much of a part of it as he was.
Yeah, well, it's funny because like he's always had that, like, even in like Awesome Show, like that sort of like sinister thing about him. But when you see it on like full display, like it was like, oh, he's a good fucking scary villain. Like,
he's great.
He was
like,
outstanding in that.
He can he's one of my favorite, like I don't want to say comedians. I mean, I guess
actors,
like, just comedic actors. I guess.
Yeah, sure.
And it's cool. Like, he's getting a lot of cool shit now.
Oh yeah,
like,
totally.
So yeah, go Tim Heidecker, our buddy.
Man. Yeah, no, I enjoyed the movie. I didn't find it as extreme, because I mean, Get Out was one of the tensest just experiences of my life,
and it's
because
just such a fucking like interesting script. Like,
well,
it's very
it's very interesting, but just, I mean, it's the tensest because I'm like, oh, this is about me.
Yeah. You just like, you don't want to
totally about.
I'm not gonna pander to people anymore.
This
like,
is
I
totally about fucking just like, kind of mindless white liberalism, just being like, I feel like I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh no,
this is bad. I love movies like that like make you just kind of feel
well,
like
that's
shit.
the thing, man. I was watching it, and it was like it was giving me all of the tenseness that a normal horror movie does, but then also the racial tension as well of just being like a very guilty white liberal person, just being like, oh God, this is totally about me, and it's also scary.
Yeah,
so
it's
it was
terrifying.
like double, is doing, tied my butthole in 2 knots the whole time. Like, oh no.
Well, shit. When does the fucking show start?
Oh yeah, we're headed to Chris Davis's outstanding Fresh Ground Comics, still running.
Do you know Peter? Have you met Peter?
Last Friday of every month here in Birmingham, Alabama. No, I don't know Peter. I know Tolly.
You'll like Peter. He's very funny.
That's what Wes said, man. He said he's an up and coming talent here in Magic City. So I'm excited. What's his last name?
Davenport.
Peter Davenport.
He had just started before I moved to LA. And
okay.
Like he was funny, like right out the gate, but like, he
sure.
was one of those dudes that like when I do shows out of town, they were like, "Is there any new people?" And I would always bring Peter with me.
Find us on Facebook, facebook.com/thegoodspod. We're on Twitter @thegoodspod. Every episode ever, youtube.com/thegoodspod. Nick, do you got anything you want to plug, man?
Just this podcast, Table for One Dumb Boy, and Pod Thomas Anderson, another podcast I do with comedian Chris Ivey.
Oh, that's a fun one.
Yeah, if you like movies or don't even, listen to it. We just talk shit to each other mostly, and Paul Thomas Anderson centric for the most part. We love Paul Thomas Anderson, and the Patreon, the Table for One Dumb Boy Patreon, patreon.com/Table for One Dumb Boy. You get $5. You get a free episode each week.
Hell yeah. Well, yeah, definitely find Nick and go back in our archives. You can find Nick on our Fall Brawl 93 episode. He's on a couple episodes that we did called Magic City's Finest, and of course the episode Truckin'.
Yeah, that was one of those fun things I've ever done.
Man.
For sure.
So definitely go find Nick in the archives and all that stuff. And Pat, what should the folks do when they get to iTunes?
Rate, review, subscribe. Shows the attitude of gratitude.
And if you don't have the attitude of gratitude, fuck you. We'll see you next week. The Goods from the Woods was mixed, edited, and distributed by me, Rivers Langley. You can find the show on Twitter @TheGoodsPod. Our theme song was composed by DJ Smiles. Check him out on Twitter @DJ Smiles.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.